Alright, so before we get into the video, going to go ahead and announce that in this video we will be doing a giveaway. So if you guys want to be entered, all you guys have to do is leave a like and comment your RSN down below. Also be subscribed to the channel. We're giving away a bond like we have done in the past. Right now I'm going to go ahead and find the winner of the last video. And the winner is DoD Army. Congratulations to him. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into the video. Alright, hello everyone, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and as you guys can see, a little different going on right here. Basically, the update today in game was to release the Slayer staff, upgraded I guess. So basically, with the new Wildy Slayer Master, you can now actually get assigned stuff in the wilderness. Those things have a potential chance of dropping a scroll that is then added onto the Slayer staff to apparently make it more helpful. I went ahead and used that on this, so we have full charges on the staff. Gonna go ahead and test out a little bit of a comparison here. So if you guys go over here, basically the only spells that you can cast with this staff are Magic Dart and Fire Waves, or I guess every wave, but realistically these are the only two that matter, at least in today's video. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to compare this new staff with the new, just the new staff with Magic Dart compared to the Trident of the Swamp, obviously taking into consideration the spell cost for Trident of the Swamp compared to the staff. Also on top of that, I'm going to go ahead and compare the staff's use of Fire Wave with a Smoke Battle staff's use of Fire Wave, obviously both using the Tome of Fire. So today I'll be doing this on neck reels. I will be on task for all of my comparison, don't worry about that. It's a relatively good comparison because neck reels have really low defense. They do have decent drops, so you could take that in considerations, but for all intents and purposes, today I will not be doing that. It'll be solely the cost of casting these spells and the XP rates that we get. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and test it now. Alright, so as I say in all my videos, before we get on into it, I'm basically going to let you guys know that I did test this on a couple neck reel tasks, so take that into account. They have relatively low mage defense, so you may, have something with higher mage defense. You want to take into account your accuracy with different spells and stuff like that. This is going to be for your most average Slayer monster. Most of them don't have really high defense, so this is going to be a pretty good comparison. Before we get into the video though, I want to go ahead and address something that may be commented on, and it does have to deal with something I've seen on my latest videos, which is people complaining that I'm not doing 5 to 10 hours of something, so I'm not getting an accurate result. If you know anything about probabilities, that's not true. Whenever I'm attacking with a weapon, and if I attack with it between 1,200 and 2,400 times, you're gonna get pretty much the same result as if you do it 12,000 to 24,000 times. It's not going to matter that much. Obviously, it could change, but the way standard deviations and just statistics in general works is after 1,200 times at an RNG thing, you have a pretty good estimation of what you're going to get. I know some of you just may not have known that. That's fine. I understand that, but I'm not going to spend 10 hours testing each spell, much to the dismay of my fans. But the problem there is I'd rather make more videos comparing more things, even if they're like 1K off an hour. I'd rather get you guys the general idea of the video rather than spending 40 hours finding the exact XP rate per hour. It may vary just by 1,000. It's not worth it to me. I'm sorry if that irks you and you can't watch the video. That's fine. We'll go our separate ways on that. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get into the statistics of the video now. After my testing, basically what I found is, a couple things. I really didn't know what to test this to. Basically, the problem being is I don't know what spell is best to test against this new Slayer staff, so I kind of tested a couple different things. So, with this Slayer staff, you can basically only cast wave spells, Crumble Undead, and Slayer Dart. So I tested Slayer Dart and Fire Wave. Obviously, the Fire Wave, as you guys can see, with a Tome of Fire. So, basically, with the Slayer staff enchanted, along with the Tome of Fire and Fire Wave, I was getting 97k XP per hour and losing about 700k GP. From there, if we go ahead and go down to the Smoke Battle Staff, basically I was getting 96k around there XP per hour, and I was losing 654 GP. Basically, the only difference there is the fact that the Slayer Staff Enchanted has just a little bit higher magic accuracy. So that's the comparison between those two spells in particular. Then from there, I figured I'd compare kind of Slayer Dart and the Trident. The problem here is that the Trident really isn't good for magic XP. So basically, if you're going to ever use the Trident, as you guys can see here, don't do that. If you're trying to be efficient for Slayer, don't do that. There's almost no scenario in which you would use this, but I figured I'd give it a chance. There's no real use for the Slayer staff, like on Zora, to be a backup for the Trident, so there's not a lot to compare here. Basically, if you wanted to go ahead and do that, that's fine, but basically what we're seeing this far is that obviously you're not going to want to go ahead and use the first scenario, which is your Slayer staff enchanted with the Tome of Fire and Fire Wave, because basically you're getting a 1k XP difference per hour maybe, and that is that's costing you 43k just in staff charges along with extra air runes that were used, so that's not really worth it to you because, I mean, basically that would accumulate to around like 3 to 4 mil extra to save yourself an hour, which isn't efficient for most people, and you may as well just go with the regular Smoke Battle Staff. And then on top of that, next up, we have the fact that pretty much the Trident is never efficient as far as training goes, and I guess I could see that coming, but basically, if you were going to train with a Trident, then go ahead and switch to the Dart, but I don't think anyone was going to train with a Trident originally, so that shouldn't be too much of a hassle for any of you guys. And then we go from there to the overview. So basically, the only two things that I was willing to come out of this and say is efficient is basically the Smoke Battle Staff with the Tome of Fire compared to the new Slayer Enchanted Staff with Slayer Dart. So basically what you have here is the same stats that I said before, 96k XP per hour compared to 79k, so an extra 17k XP per hour, which in the end would end up costing you 171k. So basically what ends up happening is every hour that you're using Fire Wave, you end up saving yourself 13 minutes, like in time I guess, but you also do that at the cost of 171k as I said before, meaning that the overall efficiency is 790k an hour. So if you can make more than 800k, which I'd imagine most medium to high level accounts can, and you do need 75 mage for either one of these, so I mean, for most people with 75 mage, I would say it's still more useful to use Fire Wave. However, if you can't hit that target, then it is useful for you to use Slayer Dart, and it's kind of impressive that they found somewhat of a use for this in the game, I guess. But yeah, so I don't know how I feel about this. I'm gonna go back over to the game real quick. But yeah, basically, from what I was saying, there's no real use for the Slayer staff. It's a little disappointing. I mean, for maybe medium accounts that can't make that much money, it may be useful. But I feel like it was a pretty poor effort on Jagex's part. Not a lot's going to come out of this, and unless they end up buffing the staff in the future, I don't see it being that much of a difference in the end. So that'll be it for me in this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys want me to compare anything else, leave it down below in the comments. I'm willing to pretty much compare anything, as you guys can see. But I don't know if there's a better spell to compare this to or compare it with. I think I covered all my bases on it, so that's about it. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. If you guys really enjoy my content, make sure to hit that sub button. Twitter's in the description down below. And yeah, make sure to join my clan chat, large EXP lamp. There's 2 E's. Make sure you remember that. And with that being said,